Hello Cherries Red Army, and we've got a very exciting post-match interview here for you. AFC Bournemouth 2, West Brom 2 in the 1910 bar. We've got Don Goodman. How you doing, Don?
I'm very, very well. How are you?
Very, very well. And to start with, is it a great feeling to see Championship football back on our screens in the stadium, fully packed stadiums?
It's the best feeling, to be honest with you, and I knew it would be, and I've experienced it obviously in the playoffs, and you guys were in the playoffs, so you know the difference that the fans make is just remarkable, really. And we were talking about this, there were a lot less goals in the Championship last season, and I truly believe that was down to not having fans in stadiums, because fans drive players on, push them beyond boundaries and so on and so forth. So the atmosphere tonight, both from the home supporters and the away supporters, it's just what we've all been missing, and long may it continue, and never again may football supporters ever be taken for granted or underestimated how important they are to the game.
Okay, so it's now a second-year parachute payment team in AFC Bournemouth against a first-year parachute payment team in West Brom. What was your early expectations of both teams when those lineups were released?
Well, clearly Bournemouth were affected a lot more by injuries and suspensions than West Bromwich Albion. I think you had probably 7 or 8 lads sat in the stand who, if fully fit, probably would have started the game tonight. So, you know, you were hindered. Lots of young academy players, and I'm here with my friend Joe Roach from the academy. He's been with the academy years and brought through Danny Ings and Sam Vokes and so on and so forth. So it was great that Bournemouth are producing quality from the academy, and it's times like this where they come into their own, really. And I thought the young lads did really, really well tonight. I don't envisage that they'll have a harder game than that, in the way that West Bromwich Albion play, just like Barnsley last season. That press don't allow you to pass the ball through the thirds. It's really, really horrible and difficult to play against, and I thought the young boys did really well.
Since Scott Parker's come in, and we've done YouTube channels on Scott Parker, and I've had a lot of feedback from Fulham fans saying, enjoy Parker ball. Well, if that's Parker ball, and we're going back to front, getting Dom Solanke behind the back four, it was exciting tonight, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
I think he's Fulham's loss. I think he's got the potential to be a brilliant coach at the highest level, actually. And I think with every passing season, he's already been through highs and lows, you know, promotions, relegations. And when you have the lows, that's when you learn the most, I think, in life, actually. But let's refer it to sport. You probably learn more when you're losing games of football than when you're winning, or when you're drawing, and when you're not. You know, you learn more about your players, you learn more about what it takes to improve. So I think Bournemouth's gain is Fulham's loss. I don't expect too many games like that. I think Fulham will dominate and play with a bit more controlled possession than they did before. But I think the group of players that Scott has inherited here, one of the strengths of Bournemouth last season, towards the end anyway, when I was seeing a lot of Bournemouth games, was turning defence into attack in the blink of an eye, the counter-attack. And I think it's huge. Now, it's not really something that he did that often at Fulham, certainly in the Championship 2 years ago. But tonight I saw the potential of the counter-attacking threat that Bournemouth posed. So if you can mix that with the possession-based football, and then when you turn the ball over, counter-attack quickly, I don't doubt that Bournemouth will finish in the top 4 this year. In what place, I'm not sure.
And just to highlight on Bournemouth again, there was a lot of youth players in there. Some started the game very well, the likes of Kilkenny. Some grew into the game with Jordan Zamora and Anthony linking up for that second goal. And there is a question mark with Bournemouth fans over Mark Travers. We have thought for a couple of years that he's needed a loan out, and they did target Travers, especially from throw-ins and corners, and he felt like he didn't really command the box. Do you think Bournemouth need a good goalkeeper, bearing in mind they had a good goalkeeper in Begovic that gained us many points last season to get us to the playoffs?
Well, I think Mark Travers will have easier games than that, and they didn't target Mark Travers. They will target every single goalkeeper in the Championship. They will put the ball under the crossbar with pace. That's the reason they brought Alex Mowat from Barnsley, because that delivery that he's got. They have long throws. They're a big, strong, physical team, and they won't just do it to Bournemouth. They'll do it to every team in the division. In answer to your question, of course, I think Mark will need good competition for places. That's how you get better, isn't it? When you can't take your place for granted. And so, the recruitment of a goalkeeper of equal or better ability, I think it will benefit Mark.
It is game one, very hard to predict, but I'm probably not going to get an opportunity to speak to you again, Don. So
I don't know.
Maybe not, maybe. But what is your expectation? I mean, we put West Brom in the top 2 when we did a championship prediction.
Yeah.
We put Bournemouth to finish in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, or do you see it being slightly different?
It's funny, I've just been having a conversation. I think the pandemic has really diluted the quality of the championship. You know, less money. I think the relegated clubs have been able to retain more of their better players than ever before. You know, so for example, referring it to Bournemouth, you know, there may have been clubs out there pre-pandemic willing to pay 30, 40, 50 million pound for, let's say, David Brooks as an example, or Dan Juma. And all of a sudden the pandemic came and clubs started thinking of, hang on, we'll keep hold of the money, because they couldn't see into the future. So I think that the relegated clubs have a massive advantage. Last year, when all 3, including yourself, nearly got promoted, never been heard of, but 2 of them did get promoted, and Bournemouth were in the playoffs. I think it'll be the same this year. I see West Bromwich Albion, Fulham and Sheffield United, along with Bournemouth, as streets ahead of any of the other squads that are in this division. So I thought it was an underachievement of Bournemouth with that squad to finish 6th last season. If you don't finish in the top 4 this season, I would put it down as an underachievement.
Really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of your evening and have a good season with the commentary.
Yeah.
And make sure you subscribe to Cherries Red Army YouTube channel this season. Hit the like button. From me and Don, we'll see you on the next video.
Good night.
Cherries.